God told me that as you're moving into this uncharted territory, that exposure does not mean that you're not covered. I hear God saying that you need to actually expect exposure. That you need to expect that your vulnerabilities are going to be highlighted. That you need to expect that you are going to be put on Front Street where people are watching and looking and learning and growing, because God says, I'm going to use you as a model. And when God has called you to serve as a model, He's going to highlight the areas where you need development so that it will not be a surprise when someone else comes up behind you and sees that they are exposed too. I wouldn't even be able to preach this message unless the children of Israel had gone ahead of me. But because they went ahead of me, I know something about God that I otherwise would not have known. I want to prophesy over some trailblazers in this room. I want to prophesy over some people who have been called to lead and to break generational curses. And I want you to understand that exposure is not inadequacy. I want you to understand that exposure does not mean that you are not fit for the job. Exposure is how you become fit for the promise. Exposure is how God develops you. I hear God saying you better fall in love with the wilderness, because in the wilderness I'm going to pull everything out of you that should not be in you. I'm going to pull everything shaky out of you. I'm going to expose your sin. I'm going to expose your brokenness. I'm going to expose your weakness. Why? Because I cannot let you into the promised land as a toxic version of who you are. I need the healthiest version of who you are so that I can set a new example for your family, so I can set a new example for your church, so I can set a new example for your industry. I hear God saying that you're going to have to surrender to the wilderness. The wilderness is here to teach you about you and about how God can sustain you. God wants to sustain you in the wilderness. And so when you find yourself in the wilderness and you start feeling uncovered and you start wanting to complain, and you start thinking to yourself, I wish I could just go back to where I came from. I wish I could just do things differently because I feel too exposed. I feel too vulnerable. I feel like I might fail. I feel like I might not make it to the other side. I feel like I don't have what it takes. That's your insecurity talking because you feel exposed. But God says, I want you to understand that I did not just deliver you from Egypt. I delivered you to me. We talk about them coming out of Egypt like He delivered them from Egypt with no destination in mind. If you make your journey about getting to the promised land, you're going to miss that God did not just deliver you for promises. God says, I delivered you for connection. I delivered you for companionship. I delivered you for relationship. I delivered you so you could know my commandments. I delivered you so you could understand my heart. I delivered you so that you could save a generation. I delivered you so that you could have a new testimony. I delivered you so I could change your mind. I delivered you so that you could walk with power. I delivered you so that you could know that you're more than a slave, that you're also a warrior. I delivered you so that you can know that you're not just damaged goods, that you're actually the person I want to build nations on. I delivered you so that you could understand that no matter how much they devalued you then, that I still find value in you. I delivered you so that you could understand that you were never what they called you. You were always what I saw. I delivered you so that you could walk with authority. I delivered you so that I could send glory through your bloodline. I delivered you so that you could lift up a nation. I delivered you so that you could bear the weight of what it means to build something that is bigger than you. I delivered you not so that you could just have milk and honey. I delivered you so you could have no milk and no honey, but still have a praise. I delivered you so that you didn't need a circumstance, but that you could do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I didn't just deliver you. And I don't know who's trying to rush into the promised land season, but I hear God saying that if you rush into the promised land season, that you might get ran right out. I hear God saying you need to let it take as long as it takes in the wilderness, because you'll never be without. I got manna that can fall from heaven. I got water that can come from bitter waters. I got quail that can run, that can feed you. God says I can sustain you in the wilderness.